It's time for Inside the Patch with your Las Vegas Raiders. Here's Gnarley Charley.
Welcome back to Inside the Patch. We've got Mitch Adams, he's the professor of the perfect rotation training basketball device. Look at that thing. It is amazing. Make your kids get in the NBA just by hanging out with Mitch.
There you go. Fantastic, Mitch.
Is that safe if you take it on a cruise?
It is, because you could use it as a flotation device as well.
Number 56, Jeff Barnes from your LA and Oakland Raiders is here. And Jeff, how do I get on your cruise?
Well, what you got to do is you go to Facebook at 9th Annual RaiderLegends.com, or you can call this number 702-277-3574 and ask for Erica. And you just get on board that cruise, man. Let me tell you something. The more people on board, the better, because the more fun we're going to have. We're going to get off in Ensenada. Then we're going to go to a famous place called Papas and Beers. We're going to hang out there. And then there are all the guys and the fans get to go and do whatever they want to do in Ensenada. And it's a beautiful place. More people should go to Ensenada and just see the history, what it's all about in Mexico.
Nice.
And when you're on a cruise, too, here's how you order. They say, we're having lobster. I'll take 2. And they go, okay.
Oh, my God.
They don't care. It's all good.
Well, you know what? You have a drink with an umbrella out by the pool, and then you go out to dinner, and you go to breakfast, and you go to lunch. Man, it's just a lot of things. And then for the gamblers, they have a casino on board for
nice.
for the people that just want to go and have a little fun. And what I really like about it is we're going to celebrate the Raiders' birthdays that's going to be coming up. We're going to celebrate some birthdays, and then we're going to have an auction, and then we're going to have a raffle where the Raider fans can collect more memorabilia, and then they get to meet the players and sign autographs with the players and take pictures with the guys. And let me tell you something. I won't mind them trying on my ring there, Mitch, because
they can't go anywhere
on the ship. They won't get away. They
won't get away.
They can't get away.
That's good stuff.
Wait, your birthday's coming up March 1st, right?
March 1st, and then we're going to celebrate my birthday on the ship. We're going to have a huge cake, and whoever birthday is, we're going to have some cake.
Oh,
and we're going to say happy birthday, and we're just going to have a great time. Kenny King's birthday as well, and we're going to celebrate that. And anybody's birthday that we'll celebrate it, we'll just have a good time.
So let's go back to when you're in Oakland. All of a sudden, you get you're going to LA. You didn't have a choice. That's what's happening. You're going to LA, and I don't know how. Did you feel anything from the fans, or do you remember going, okay, this is what we're doing, and I don't care?
Let me tell you something. I went kicking and screaming because all my friends, everybody loved the Raiders. I loved the Raiders, and we were Oakland Raiders. And they said, we're going to LA. I said, if we got to go, we got to go. But we're going to still take that mystique to LA. But, all the fans, when people said, I wouldn't want to be a Raider fan anymore, I don't know. I heard all that. But I tell them, I said, look, just be with the Raiders. Just hang on with them, because it's going to get better. And it did. We went down to L.A., we got a championship, and we brought it back. And so it was like back to back. And so I just want the people to know that once a Raider, always a Raider. And you can always say, oh, I'm not a Raider fan. You can side, but you'll always be a Raider fan. It's in the blood. And that's one thing I loved about Mark Davis. What Mark did was took that idea that his dad had and built that beautiful stadium. If you haven't been to the stadium in Vegas, you got to go, because it's got history and talks about the Rat Pack of the old days, and it talks about the Raiders of the old days, the Ben Davison, the Daryl LaMonicas, the Jim Ottos, the history of the Raiders is all there on the wall for you to see. And then we have that beautiful torch, the torch of Al Davis, which will light and burn forever in Vegas and the Raider fans. And then I want you to go there and look for my granite stone in granite. Jeff Barnes is in granite. It's to the right. I want you to find that and just stand by it and take a picture. And Jeff Barnes, because now I will live in infamy in granite at the foot of the Raiders Stadium. Oh, my goodness.
Nice.
Yeah.
You live here with me, right here, in my heart, Jeff.
Yeah.
Well, but you know I love you, man. And let me tell you something. If you ever want some good gumbo, you got to go to Mitch's house. You know, he doesn't do it that often, but when he does it, you got to go get some good gumbo. Have you had some of his gumbo yet?
I have not his gumbo, but I met him one time and he was being rude. I realized he had a twin brother. I didn't know that. I go, come on, Mitch. You don't know me? Come on, Mitch.
That happened to me too. They're identical.
Wait, Jeff came by the house and he was supposed to meet all the family, but he got a whiff of the gumbo. And I'm like, where is he? He's at the dining room table having his way. And then he came and met everybody. But Jeff, you've been to barbecues. We had man. We had a blowout and every former Raider seemed like was there. It was incredible.
So I know Matt retired before you got there, but I know he was around a lot.
No. Big John brought me in. Big John drafted me in 77.
Nice.
Let me tell you that story. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I was at Cal. I was in my apartment in Cal, and I watched the draft up to the fourth round. So I went home, and when I got home, my roommate said, Jeff, congratulations, you've been drafted by the Raiders. I said, Billy, I was just watching it, and I wasn't drafted. Well, he's a practical joker. I'm thinking he's playing a joke on me. So then I get a phone call. I pick up the phone and say, hello. They said, this is the Raiders. Congratulations, Jeff. I hung up the phone. I said, I thought he had paid somebody to call me to tell me not to get drafted. And they said, no, this is this. So they said, Jeff, don't hang up. You've been drafted by the Raiders. I said, only thing I could say was, I'm ecstatic. I hung up the phone. I went and got into my Catalina, as big as a Cadillac, and I drove it over to the Raider office, and I parked the car, and I went inside, and I told the secretary, I said, I'm Jeff Barnes. The secretary got up, went upstairs to John Madden's office, knocked on the door. She said, Big John. She said, Jeff Barnes. He said, yeah, I know. She said, Jeff Barnes. No. He said, yeah. I said, no. I said, she said, he's here. He's downstairs in the lobby. I wanted to make sure they had the right Jeff Barnes. You know, from Cal to Oakland.
Right.
Yes, you said, I had to make sure. And I went up there and talked to him. And Big John told that story to everybody. And I was with Big John Madden when he got that big deal with that game coming, the John Madden game. I'm thinking the John Madden game. I remember I was there when he got that deal up in Tahoe. And let me tell you something, I'm thinking this thing is not going to go far because it was like that Pong. And I said, the guy dropped the ball. I said, oh, that's terrible. Next thing you know, the guys are dancing, catching the ball. And we done John Madden 2024. Boy, but I was there when he first started, man. Boy, it was fantastic.
What kind of car was that you got in again?
Oh, that was a Catalina. Let me tell you something.
And Catalina has what? Cruise ships out in front of it.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. And I had a cruise control. That's right.
How do I go on a cruise? That's how I want to know. The best is the 9th annual Raider
Legends Cruise to Ensenada, Mexico. I want you to come on board because what's a pirate without a ship?
Carnival Cruise Line, April 5th through the 8th. Call Erica. 702-277-3574.
You can't beat it.
Tell her you want to go on the Raiders 9th annual cruise.
And let me tell you something. We're going to have a ball. It's going to be great. The more people, the better. And like I said, the more Raider fans, the better. And look, where is it you can talk to the fans, sign autographs, have a good time. And let me tell you something. This is the 9th annual. We'll hopefully have a 10th and 11th. And we want you on board to have fun.
Well, I know Jerry Robinson is going to be on it, and Jerry was a guest on our show here.
Oh,
and he played for the Eagles and the Raiders, and he told us, he said, there's something about after your career's over, if you've been a Raider, like we said, you're always a Raider. And he goes, I feel like it's a family. It's right. Like sometimes it's just another team, but sometimes it's more than that. It really is.
It's more than that with Jerry because we love Jerry. Jerry came over, I got to meet his lovely wife, who passed away, God rest her soul, and his 2 kids, and he came over and we accepted him wholeheartedly. And but Rob Martin would always give Jerry the blues because Jerry, he got a co-championship ring. And I said, Jerry, where your ring, man? I said, he said, no, Rod. I said, man, forget Rod. Man, you was there. You got the ring. Wear your ring. And he wears it more now than he ever did. But I told him, man, wear that ring because we were there together at Super Bowl and what was that at? That
New
was
Orleans.
New Orleans. And we in New Orleans had a great time.
Oh, no, that. Yes,
I was in New Orleans and we had a great time with Jerry, and man, it was fantastic.
And we would be remiss to not mention that Jack Squirick, who made that great interception, he passed away this week.
Super Bowl 18.
Yeah, Super Bowl 18.
And just last week, Mitch and I were talking about how Jack Jones, I said he pulled a Squirick, when he picked off that one. But tell me about Jack Squirick.
Well, let me tell you something. Jack Squirick came in, he was the second year. And when he came in, he went to the University of Illinois. And a guy, Darryl Bird, he was from Illinois as well. Well, they were coached with Mike White, my coach from Cal. When I was at Cal, I had Mike White. So they were coached by Mike White in Illinois. And then we all got together. Because of that, we had this close bond. And then when we broke training camp, that year, that Super Bowl year, I said, Jack, this is too expensive in LA. Let's get an apartment. We got a 3-bedroom apartment. It was Jack, myself, and Darryl Bird. And, it was just having the linebackers together. We go over plays and stuff like that. And I took those guys under my wings and I taught them as much as I can teach them how to be a Raider. And so we get there to the Super Bowl and Charlie Sumner said, Jack, go in there. And so Jack get a chance to go in. And all he had to do was cover the back out of the backfield. Well, not only covered it, he jumped up and intercepted it and went in for the touchdown. I said, Jack, thank God it was you because it was me. I probably would have hit the guy, hit him too soon. It would have been a penalty. They would have got another 15 yards penalty. I said, I was so happy that was you because you had the wherewithal to jump up, intercept that ball, and go in for the end zone. And I tell you, those days, you get those interceptions and score right before halftime. That's like a mark that you're going to have a good year and a good game.
That was huge.
Hey,
that was huge.
We do a movie trivia thing here on our show. And the movie Top Gun, it stars a guy named Tom. What was his last name? Tom. Oh, my gosh. If there was only a Raider Cruise, how could we do that?
Go to Facebook at 9th Annual Raider Legend Cruise and get all the information you need to get. And you should call 702-277-3574 if you want some information, and call Erica. She would love to hear from you. If you can call, please call Erica.
All right, Jeff, I want to talk about the modern Raiders. Coming up next, there is a modern Raider now that was influenced by Jeff Barnes and other linebackers who might be our coach, we hope. Coming up, we're going to talk about the influence Jeff Barnes had on Antonio Pierce growing up in L.A. That's coming up next right here on Inside the Patch.
We'll be back with more Inside the Patch on 1430 ESPN, your official home of the Las Vegas Raiders.